no deal.
I was inspired to do this top 10 after watching Roshi almost die in the Tournament of Power. Spoiler, that will be on the list. This list isn't about definitive moments of Dragon Ball or shocking moments, but those that got people to feel something. Also, this list is in no particular order and I am sorry if I missed one of your favorite emotional moments. There are just too many, but that should be expected of a series with the longevity of Dragon Ball. Number 10, Vegeta's speech on Namek. Let's start with a real juicy one. In this moment we see the villainous, despicable, cold-hearted Vegeta desperately trying to tell Goku his story before he dies. We see a former antagonist weeping as he tells the truth behind a bigger villain. We see a callous individual outpour all his emotions as he is dying and in great pain, and it is difficult to watch. Rewatch it if you can, because I feel it's a very underrated moment of the saga. Number 9, Piccolo's sacrifice for Gohan. People often argue that it's hard to get emotionally invested when characters die in Dragon Ball because they can always come back, but after this death Kami also died because of the connection they shared. And that meant goodbye Dragon Balls. Suddenly it all sunk in and you felt scared for the characters that were still alive now. Not only that, but his heart-to-heart with Gohan was very touching as well. Fear and sadness are not a good combination. Number 8, Vegeta's sacrifice from one sacrifice to another. This moment is really more than just the sacrifice. You always have to look at things with context. And when you do with this moment, it tugs at the heartstrings. This was kind of the culmination of Vegeta's character arc through all of Dragon Ball Z, and that kind of made you feel happy inside. You know, right before he knocked out the children after an emotional embrace with his son and then blew himself up. That's when the brief happiness from seeing a brutal villain turn into a likable father and hero turns to a moment that famously made grown men cry and still does today. What makes it even worse is that it wasn't the end of Buu and that his sacrifice was in vain. That just made it all the more saddening and compelling. This death had real weight and build to it and really meant something to the series. Number 7, Krillin's death in Dragon Ball. Oh yes, I'm including the original series as well. Aren't I such a hipster? I had to try and make that joke. There's just been too many sad moments in a row for me. This was such an impactful death because we had never seen something like this in the series yet. What made it even worse was Goku's reaction when he found his best friend dead. I find it difficult to rewatch the original Dragon Ball with modern expectations of quality, but moments like this show that old anime can still hold up. Number 6, Frieza impales Krillin. Krillin gets the short end of the stick a lot, doesn't he? At least he provides some emotional moments. The moment I am talking about here is of course the infamous scene where Frieza just rocks Krillin with his bullhorn and forces him to attend the rodeo while everyone watches on, doing the shock face emoji. In all seriousness, this brutish torture is both shocking and frightening to watch, disturbing to all before he is thrown into the water below. Then we all just feel a little sad. Especially after his internal monologue about Goku not being there to save him. Of course, he came back, but in the moment, we all felt some sadness. Number 5, the first Super Saiyan transformation. This one has to be on every list, it's anime law. But this was a very emotional moment. Emotion fueled the transformation itself. The deaths of almost everyone filled Goku, our happy-go-lucky protagonist, filled him with so much anger he exploded into a new transformation that made him stronger than ever before. Not everything on this list has to be exclusively emotional for the viewer. Number 4, Master Roshi escapes death. He told you this was going to be here, and I'm not gonna lie to you. This whole episode capitalized on decades of Roshi and made him better than ever before, bamboozling us with his almost death. The thought of Roshi dying was very believable, and after that Kamehameha speech, emotions were running very high all around. It was even more so. It was very easy to get caught up in this moment and really believe. You could get genuinely emotionally invested, and that's why it sparked the idea for this list. Number 3, Cell shoots future Trunks and Vegeta retaliates. Here is another entry based more on the character's emotions, but it's also very emotional for the viewer as well. Top 10 emotional moments in Dragon Ball. Here we see Trunks, someone that's been a badass since he showed up and been nothing but likable, get blown away by Cell. Everyone stands around in shock while Vegeta has what's got to be in the top 5 internal monologues of Dragon Ball. How could I let this happen to my son? He has sacrificed everything for me, and I have done nothing but ignore him. No. I won't give up on him. There's still time to change things. Cell has crossed me for the last time. He has tricked me in battle, mocked my Saiyan ancestry, but this time he's gone too far. He will pay the ultimate price for what he has done to my son. Top 10 emotional moments in Dragon Ball. It's utterly powerful and oozing with emotion. While Vegeta wasn't Trunks' actual father since he was from a different timeline, he truly saw him as his own. This all led to a barrage of blasts from Vegeta which would prove to be fruitless in the end. A lot of fans hate how Vegeta did no damage to Cell and didn't go SSJ2 and how Krillin was bafflingly stupid, and I agree, but don't let it subtract from this emotional moment. Number 2, Goku and Shishi get married. Time for something genuinely happy. Top 10 emotional moments in Dragon Ball. This was an incredible culmination of events back in the day, and if you didn't crack a smile then I am concerned. Everyone loves a wedding, and this was also the end of the original run of Dragon Ball before Dragon Ball Z starts, and it was really nice to see. Put a smile on my dial. That also makes 2 Dragon Ball moments on this list. I am not a hipster. Number 1, Majin Vegeta's speech to a trapped Goku. Basically, every speech Vegeta does is incredible. It's the one part of his writing that is consistently great and earns him all his fans, myself included. Top 10 emotional moments in Dragon Ball. This speech is dripping with emotion from Vegeta. We know that Goku could have broken free from his restraints, but Vegeta didn't. And so he begins to outpour his emotions from years of chasing in 2 or 3 minutes while Goku allows him to. It's hard to say what this makes you feel because I'm sure it's different for everyone, but you can't deny it earns a spot on this list by Vegeta's emotions alone. Now we have reached the end of the list, and I would like to remind you this is in no particular order. However, I know people will ignore that and complain in the comments about where moments were placed. Do me a solid if you're reading this and respond to a comment complaining and ask them to actually read instead of looking at the numbers. It takes as much effort to read as it does to write a strongly worded comment that is ultimately wrong. Apart from that, be sure to leave any other thoughts in the comments, leave a like if you enjoyed, and be sure to share this around your social medias to spread the discussion.